name is Harry, and I'm from London.
Meghan Markle here. Today is September 23rd, 2025. It is 4:21 p.m. So I'm editing some videos that I recorded this morning and things I have not finished edit since last week. And I decided to hop on Twitter to see what's going on. So there are a couple of tweets I would like to go over. Since I'm behind my desk, I might as well record and share my thought with you as I go over them. Okay, so I have about not too much. All right, this video, I hope it's not too much. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tweets. Okay, there's something about Fergie. I don't know what's going on, so I was a bit curious, so I want to go over it. So this is the tweet here. All the charities dropping Fergie on the first business day of the week. I don't know. It feels surgical, very much the firm. It could be because last week the Trump you know, the way they welcome Trump, and that O'Brien video that I told you about the U.S. who highlighted Trump's and the royal family. Okay, go watch that video. Look at the screen. This is the thumbnails of that video. So they're probably getting a lot of backlash for... Okay, I could understand the state dinner, even though I'm not for it, because they do that for, you know, different countries. But the fact that they let Trump stay at Windsor Castle, that's a big no-no. Okay, so I think they're trying to divert, like a squirrel kind of thing.
You desired squirrel.
You see, they get distracted
so that I may talk. Squirrel.
To distract people from the backlash of what they did about for allowing Trump to stay at Windsor Castle. That's what I'm thinking, okay? I don't know. So that's me putting this here, the baby on the wall. Okay, not sure about the firm being behind them, dropping her as a patron, because it's also bad publicity for them. However, you think the royal family care about that? They want somebody else's name, because what I used to think that the royal family, I used to think they work as one, okay? Fergie or anyone within the royal family that does something, it will be a plus or a minus for the royal family. Okay, but apparently what I realized, they don't work like that. They work individually within the royal family. So they thinking that by throwing Fergie's name out the door, out the window first, okay, under the bus, so to speak, okay, they think that will deflect away from them. All right, that's the way that I see that, the way they operate. But the thing what's happening here is that their tactic, whatever it is, the plan that these people have, which I spoke about in one of the videos that I did this morning, or recording that I did this morning, is that the UK, the US, Canada, Australia, I know some Canadian might say, oh, we're not part of this, we're not. There are MAGAs in all of those countries, okay? I know MAGA stand Make America Great Again, but technically it's like a facade for racist, okay? Fascist type of mentality, okay? But they have the fascist type mentality in the UK, and Canada, New Zealand, Australia. These group, okay? They are one. Right now, they're waiting for America to do its thing. The last time I saw Canada's election, it was very close. So I hope people are paying attention to what's going on in the US. What could possibly happen to you? Because they are truly waiting for America. Okay? They are waiting for America. Go watch, I don't know, one of the videos that I did this morning. Okay, today's date. On APTS Sussex, this channel, where I went on, I call it a rant. Okay, whatever I was thinking in terms of the tactic that Trump was using or is using to take away rights from people. So Canada, you're not too far. If you don't like what's happening in the US, just pay attention to your next election. Okay? So that's that. Let's see here. Not sure about the firm being behind them dropping her as a patron because it's also bad publicity for them. However, I wonder what comes next. More emails. I think if emails from Andrews are revealed, that will make King Charles III take action. Agree. Thumbs up. Okay, I would like to, okay, so there's something here. Let's see what this is about. And I guarantee you Prince Andrew isn't going to come to Fergie's defense, as opposed to her defending him as a good man and father back in 2023. They're just throwing her under the bus, okay? They're just throwing her under the bus, and that's all. She should have learned by now. Okay, so this is all. Sarah Ferguson insists her ex-husband, Prince Andrew, is a good man as she speaks out to defend him again while revealing she hasn't received an invitation to King Charles' coronation. So, yeah, just pause and read. That's old. And there's that. Everywhere she goes, she didn't throw anybody under the bus. I doubt it would be helpful. Maybe the daughters, but this early, it's not good. They best wait a couple weeks. But the thing is that I remember over the summer, was it this summer or sometime last year, where Fergie, the two girls, the York sisters, was photographed either going or coming from a private jet with what's that guy who wrote the thing about Meghan, Jeremy Clarkson or something like that, and some other people from the royal rats type of people. So whatever is happening in the US, it's also brewing in the UK in a different way. The thing is that with the royal family, they do not have a backbone. Okay, they don't have a backbone to stand against the papers. This is why they also isolate Harry with the brother, and then they kick him out, because if Harry was there, he would have defended and stand up to these people. Okay, so let's just say, in my humble opinion, I don't even know the full story behind Fergie, whatever that tabloid is saying. Okay, I'm just reading between the line, and my humble opinion is that this is the beginning of the end for the monarchy. They're starting the process to get rid of him, to get rid of the monarchy. Right now, what they're trying to do is to give the people, okay, a reason to even cry foul for the royal family. Okay, so the royal family did not listen to Harry. They didn't stand up against the paper. So the paper is manipulating the royal family. Okay, because at the end of the day, what these people want is control. Okay, they want the spot of the royal family. All right, they finish use them enough. Okay, whatever plan they have going on in the US, okay, they're gonna take control of the UK. That's what I think. Okay, they use the royal family to a certain point, so now they probably don't need them anymore. They're gonna start, releasing dirt left and right a little bit at a time to get the people upset, and then you get the people going after the royal family. What's gonna happen? They're gonna have to run, leave the country. That's what I think. The firm only acts when the stench becomes too strong to ignore. Charities aren't suddenly discovering who Fergie called her supreme friend. They're just cleaning up the mess the palace ignored for decades. She's being used as a scapegoat to cover for Andrew. I think that's what it is. They're gonna paint it that she led him down the dark path to Epstein and is responsible for all Andrew's bad deeds. She's the sacrificial lamb. Yeah, as if she was the one who told him to put his wee-wee on Virginia Godfrey in New York. You see him walking in Central Park with Epstein and all of that. All this has to do with the Epstein thing. She's being used. Okay, I just read that. It was funny seeing Fergie and Andrew pushed themselves in the front of the funeral of the Duchess of Kent, trying to desperately to look relevant and important. It didn't take long for another scandal to hit, shaking my head, because she's the scapegoat. They all knew what she was doing. Reason why I said the theatrical charities dropping her one by one, it feels very much orchestrated. Right? Yes, I hope they leave Harry and Meghan and focus on Sarah. She's ruining their precious monarchy on her own. Let's not associate them with that story. They want to improvise Sarah. Alright, they better watch out that Sarah won't go quietly. I see a big interview coming. It's a much needed distraction from Wee Willie and Princess of Wales. They're desperate. Yeah, it could be that. And I think that has something to do with the way the royal family invite Trump and things like that. Alright, next tweet. I respectfully disagree on this point. Pointing up. What's up? Okay. I respectfully disagree on this point. Prince William does want the job. He betrays his dead mother and his only brother for this job. Again, let me pause this. It's the same thing again. They use him, and he's someone, I don't know. He doesn't have a focus. Yes, he knows the monarchy is gonna, the crown is gonna be for him, but it's someone who doesn't have a backbone. Alright, let's see. Prince William does want the job. He betrays his dead mother and his only brother for this job. I mean, the job was already for him. It was destined for him. Even before his father's sperm hit the egg, it was for him. As long he was gonna be a boy at that time, it was for him. So I do not know why he feels that he had to put himself down to diminish his power. This is why they separate the brother, because Harry understands the position.
New spin on it from the youth. As a prince, you're born at birth with a natural platform to be able to try and make a difference. Yeah, which a lot of people have to spend years and years and years getting to that point. So from that perspective, I'm very lucky to have a platform to be able to try and make change in the causes that mean a lot to me, but also to you guys. And I'm still in your generation, by the way. But at the same time, as I said, being born with a lot of privilege comes with a lot of responsibility. But I like to think that I'm going to have to spend the rest of my life earning the respect for that privilege and trying to make a difference for the rest of my life.
Even though Harry knew he wasn't going to be king, but the hierarchy within the institution, Harry knew the power of the institution. I don't think William understands that. Okay? He wants the job. He doesn't want to put in work. That's true. It's Prince Harry who put in the work for a job he never wanted. Really wanted bad. Alright, let's see here. Jenny Murray. I know why Charles is said to be less irritated by Harry than William. It's so clear what must change. Well, Charles and Camilla, they're gonna stay as much quiet as possible. Okay? Because right now the focus should have been the discussion of him and Camilla, the heartache, the unnecessary pain they put Princess Diana through when she was alive. So I have not seen anybody talking about Princess Diana on the paper. What they put, Camilla and Charles put Princess Diana through. So right now, any stories away from Charles and Camilla, it's good for them. They're probably sitting just drinking on their champagne and sit back because they're not talking about them and Princess Diana. Okay, so let's listen to that. This one is 1 minute and 35 seconds. Screenshot, okay?
Something is going on with William. This article says, William's had a rotten 18 months. Many have remarked he's appeared unusually somber, and not just when standing next to Prince Andrew. Now royal author reveals what's eating William. And I think it's because he knows deep down in his heart he should not be king. And I think that his father also knows that too.
Well, the queen knew Charles should not be king. This is why she stayed until her death. Okay? Again, if you listen to some of my old videos, it started from the time what is it, from the time the queen father died. There's a screenshot. I took a screenshot of all the receipt that I have that made me come to that conclusion. They started, the papers inched themselves in, the royal family, the moment the king, the queen's father, all right, who passed away, both of them passed anyway. The moment Queen Elizabeth's father passed, the papers inched themselves in to start working on Charles as a toddler. They weaken him. They make him feel small. They make him feel like the paper is more powerful than him. This is what I truly believe. And then you had Charles introducing William into the papers, okay, to pass on the same BS. So they never did that to Harry, and this is why Harry becomes so strong. Now, this, what's going on here, I don't know the full story. This could be the work of Camilla. There's a possibility Charles is probably about to go. I don't know to the extent of his sickness is, if he truly has cancer or whatever internal sickness that's going on with him. So there's a possibility Charles is probably gonna go soon. Now, either they're trying to abolish the monarchy, or they're gonna do something where William is gone, and then they're gonna put the young boy, whatever, the William's firstborn, to be king. And guess what? Camilla will be there to guide him. That's what I think. All right. There's a video that I have on PYTE. I never made it public because it was so crazy. I keep on pushing it back. Is it that one? Let's see. I keep on pushing it back. This one. I did it. What year did I do it? 2022. I never made it public. I keep on pushing it back, pushing it back. There's some stuff that I said and there, it's so crazy. And I was like, let me know if you want to see it, okay? Let me know if you want to see this video. Otherwise, I could keep it private as long as I want. All right? So I schedule it. Let's see, what's the schedule? June 30th, 2027. And every time I reach to whichever max I could put it, I keep on pushing it back. Okay? So there's something that I said here. There's a possibility this is what might going on. Okay, this one was done in 2022. All right, back to this. So what was I saying here? Yeah, they're easing, and something is gonna happen. Either they're gonna abolish the monarchy, or there's a possibility they want to get rid of William, and then the son, he's not a toddler, the young boy probably will take the position, and then he will just be a dummy, but Camilla will be the puppeteer. All right, let me move it back.
That his father also knows that too. This article says, I know why Charles is said to be less irritated by Harry than William, and it's so clear what must change. What needs to change is that William is just a totally different person. It just needs to not be William. He does not want the job, very clearly. He does not do the job already. He doesn't learn Welsh, even though he knows that one day he's going to be Prince of Wales.
Well, the thing with William, which is I've said in the past, Harry and Meghan make the work, those engagement that they be doing, they make it look so easy and fun. However, there is a lot of work that is put in the background, okay, to make it look so flawless and easy. And William is very awkward around people. He cannot relax around people and things like that. So he envy the type of embracement that Harry and Meghan get from the public, but Harry and Meghan work hard behind it. They are part of the process. He should listen to some of the podcasts that Meghan be doing. There are things I've said in the past that Meghan worked very hard in the background. Even Meghan have said it when all four of them were on the stage. Is it that? Where was that said? We work hard in the background. Whatever.
Touched on it before. You have, it's well known, you've championed the empowerment of women and young girls and promoting their self-worth. How do you hope to continue that work with the Royal Foundation?
Yes, I mean, I think that knowing that I've just been here for 3 months, right? And in that amount of time, but with that said, for me, it's very important to, once you hit the ground running, even if you're doing it quietly behind the scenes, which is what I've focused my energy on thus far, is meeting with the right people, meeting with the right organizations behind the scenes quietly, learning as much as I can so that I can maximize the opportunity we have here to really make an impact.
But Meghan have said and some other thing and speech, and Heavy have said things in speech, they work hard before we see the final product. Everybody knows where they're gonna be and where and what, who's gonna be there and things like that. For William, on the other hand, he just point finger and said, this is what I want. And then these people just give them, and the people who he was pointing at saying, do this, do that, they just give him, William that is, the finished product. Then we see a couple months ago that people who work for, is it the designer for Kate, was following almost all the people that associate with Meghan, including Meghan, and then one of the squad made it public. Next thing you know, from what I learned from the squad, I don't follow these people, but the squad were talking about it, is that that designer or the person no longer work with Kate anymore. Then she made her IG, wherever they got the screenshots, private after the squad had made it public. And it seems like there's a possibility the designer, whoever was working with Kate, did that purposely so the squad could see it. Okay, so William never engaged in the process, so he doesn't know what the process of everything. So the people who work for him give him a generic finished product, but William has no clue the process of it. Unlike Harry and Meghan, they are part of the process. Okay, so he envy Harry's engagement, but if he's not of the process, it's like he doesn't really care too much about the thing he's talking about. If he had cared about it, maybe he would look more into it, but he's not into it, which is what some of that TikToker is talking about. Anyway, it's the envy, the way that he wants people to embrace him when he goes places. Because from what I've seen, when he goes and does engagement lately, nobody's out there waiting for him, unlike Harry and Meghan. Okay, last week when Harry was in the UK, people were waiting for him, Harry, to take picture and all of that. But for William, on the other hand, and with him, he came out of somewhere, there was nobody there for him. Let's continue.
He hasn't been studying international politics so that he can be a big global statesman the way that he wants to be. He does not have the work ethic or...
The paper keep on telling him he's this, he's that, and he believe it, and he doesn't put the work behind it, which is pretty much what she's saying. Harry, on the other hand, is putting the work. I'm repeating myself. All right, let me move it back. Let's listen.
So that he can be a big global statesman the way that he wants to be. He does not have the work ethic or the skill to do the job. You don't even have to be charming. Charles is proving that. He is not charming, but he at least does the work. So, yeah, that's what's eating at William. I think the other thing that's eating at William is that he's in a marriage that is not for him. I don't think that those two bring out the best in each other.
I think he was fine with the marriage, okay? He was fine with the marriage because Kate was not outshining him. It's when Meghan got into the picture. You see, Harry doesn't care if Meghan is talking or overshadowed this kind of BS the royal family keep on talking about. Harry doesn't care about that. Okay, as a matter of fact, Harry is so proud of his wife who's able to do all of this stuff, help him. And he did tell us during his engagement, he feels so, what did he say? As if he didn't have to train Meghan to do this type of job because there's a lot of work to do. So he felt very good that, I'm just paraphrasing, but I'll find the clip to put it.
I know the fact that she'll be really unbelievably good at the job part of it as well is obviously a huge relief to me, because she'll be able to deal with everything else that comes with it. But no, you know, we're a fantastic team. We know we are, and we hope to, you know, over time, try and have as much impact for all the things that we care about as much as possible.
Okay, that he felt good that he didn't have to train Meghan for this position. So Meghan was already established for the job.
Very excited about that, yeah.
And Meghan, given your acting and the profile you had, you'd already been involved in various causes. You've been an ambassador for UN Women. What about this new role? I mean, you're going to have a bigger platform, a bigger voice. What do you want to do with it?
I mean, how
Sing.
can you imagine? No, I'm not a singer. I think what's been really exciting as we talk about the transition of this out of my career but into the role is that, as you said, the causes that have been very important to me, I can focus even more energy on, because very early out of the gate, I think you realize once you have access or a voice that people are willing to listen to, with that comes a lot of responsibility, which I take seriously. And at the same time, I think in these beginning few months and now being boots on the ground in the UK, I'm excited to just really get to know more about the different communities here, smaller organizations who are working on the same causes that I've always been passionate about under this umbrella. And also being able to go around to the Commonwealth. I think it's just the beginning of a...
There's a lot to do. There's a lot to do.
Okay, so Harry doesn't care. He doesn't care about the overshadow thing. The same way Meghan doesn't care about overshadowing. But the royal family care about that, but they're not putting in the work. And the worst thing is, when all four of them were on stage, Meghan literally told them she doesn't mind being in the background to do all the work, to learn, to optimize her potential.
Even if you're doing it quietly behind the scenes, which is what I've focused my energy on thus far, is meeting with the right people, meeting with the right organizations behind the scenes quietly, learning as much as I can so that I can maximize the opportunity we have here to really make an impact.
Which mean, in some instances, which I think Harry probably have told Meghan about the hierarchy of things, don't overshadow this kind of thing. So Meghan probably, she doesn't care being in the background. So which mean, William and Kate could take the forefront and cut ribbons and look all positive and cheery. But the jealousy in them then realized that they could have welcomed Meghan even though they are racist. Okay? They could welcome Meghan and let Harry and Meghan do the work, and then they go cut ribbon. And I'm sure Meghan would have made it so easy for them for the transition, let's say when they're doing a speech, the transition of things, and then for them to take over. But they can't do that. Their envy, jealousy, or whoever was putting nonsense in their head because the paper want to pin the brothers against one another, Meghan against Kate.
Do you see any scenario by which Harry and Meghan overshadow Kate and
Oh,
William?
yes, I do. I do. I mean, this is immediately was my first thought. You know, this could be a problem.
And things like that. So they could write. Harry understood that. Eventually, Meghan understood that. Okay? But William and Kate did not understand it, even though they are spilling tea to the papers.
That she started a campaign in the British press to pave the way for a marriage, and you wrote, I even wanted Camilla to be happy. Maybe she'd be less dangerous if she was happy.
Mm-hmm.
How was she dangerous?
Because of the need for her to rehabilitate her image.
That made her dangerous.
That made her dangerous because of the connections that she was forging within the British press. And there was open willingness on both sides to trade of information. And with a family built on hierarchy, and with her on the way to being Queen Consort, there was going to be people or bodies left in the street because of that.
The clip that I was looking for is where Harry was telling Anderson Cooper where the royal family will spoon-fed the tabloid and things to write on the paper, and then at the bottom of the paper they will say they have no comment or something like that. I can't find it, but this clip that I just played is close enough. And they buy, what I mean by, they believe what the paper is writing instead of them work together with Harry and Meghan. Can you just imagine if Harry and Meghan were over there? Who cares what the papers were saying? If William and Kate and Meghan and Harry put their heads together, I know Harry and Meghan were willing to work with them, but the other one, William and Kate, had put their prides down or humble themselves and work with Harry and Meghan. Can you just imagine how popular they would have been? But no, he rather throw his mom under the bus.
It is my view that the deceitful way the interview was obtained substantially influenced what my mother said. The interview was a major contribution to making my parents' relationship worse and has since hurt countless others. It brings indescribable sadness to know that the BBC's failures contributed significantly to her fear, paranoia, and isolation that I remember from those final years with her.
Thinking he's better than anybody, and listen to the tabloid, and then put it in writing to kick his brother out. So this is what happened. You see, since the time Harry left, all he was doing was protecting his family. Okay? Instead, William keep on focusing on Harry, put Harry's family's lives in danger instead of focusing on himself. This is what's happening here. And with all the prayers that we're putting out there, okay, protection and all of that, so he's reaping what he saw. Let's move it back slightly.
That is not for him. I don't think that those two bring out the best in each other, and I think both of them know that as well. Just my theories, based on a lot of solid evidence from the media.
And the other thing I started saying, which I didn't finish that thought, is that I think William was okay with Kate. Okay, the way that she was, didn't do anything. They trained her to be exactly that. Because I even did a video back in 2020 or 2021 that they got what they wanted. Why something. Just look on the screen. This is the thumbnails. Okay, they were fine with Kate just like that. It's when Meghan got into the picture, and then we start seeing Meghan's work and her skills and her capacity, how much she could do and things like that. And then that's where they start pushing Kate to be just like Meghan. And she wasn't trained to be like that. Okay? I don't want to put her down. She's already going through her own issues. I know some of the derangers love to bring up or saying stuff about Meghan, and then they push me to put things about Kate as a pushback. But I'm not gonna put her down anymore. But if the derangers want to come in my comment section and start talking shit, then I'll respond to them. But Kate wasn't trained to be in that position the way that Meghan is doing her work. Meghan and Harry make the thing look so easy. This is not to say I could do it. I'm not even into all of this. So most likely I'll do a crappy job. Alright? But they don't want to accept the fact that they're not doing the job good. That's William and Kate. But they want to put in their head they're so good, they're better than anybody else. Is that colonialism, white supremacist type of mindset? Look what's happening in the US. Okay, I don't want to go into that. There's so much to say. Let me read some of the comments and then go to the next tweet. Okay, you're absolutely correct. That's why he's so livid with Harry. He needed him there to do the work, all the work, so he could look accomplished compared to an emotionally stunted, single, and childless Harry. Oh well, God had other plans. Yeah, Prince Harry was never emotionally stunted. Well, so whatever. Remember, they put in William's head that Harry was gonna be drinking, smoking, and doing those kind of things.
What would you want to do?
I think it's I don't know. It's a really tricky question. It goes through my head lots
I'd like to fly helicopters, definitely. I'd like to be some sort of heli pilot, you know, working for the UN maybe or something like that. Go off and do some, you know, I'd have to be doing something active outside and doing sort of fun stuff, but with an edge to helping people.
How about you, Harry?
He'd probably sit in and play computer games and drink beer.
Thanks a lot. No, I honestly...
William have said it in so many joint interviews in the past with Harry when they were being interviewed. This is what he had in his head. Harry was gonna be drinking and smoking and all of that.
Has there been any kind of diva demands or sort of pop stars you've had to deal with that have been quite tricky?
Couldn't possibly be so indiscreet.
The Spice Girls were quite keen to...
He's been the hardest. He's, you know, some cigarettes somewhere and a beer, that's about it, really. But apart from that, it's been pretty easy.
Have you been the diva today then, Harry, with your rider?
I haven't been the diva. This is very...
Meanwhile, Harry was fighting the demon over there to get himself clean, get out of this situation. Harry rather go back to war than being in the institution. That's how bad he was fighting with the devil over there. So until he find Meghan, and then we have to thank William for literally kick him out, because otherwise they'll be using Harry so William could look good. So they don't have Harry to make William look good, so it's hunting him. It's eating him inside. Prince Harry was never emotionally stunted. That has always been a William issue. Harry always felt too much, hence why he co-founded Center Bally at 21 and founded the Invictus game at 29. Will wants the fame, riches, accolades. I agree with that. Title and power. He doesn't actually want the job, responsibility, expectation, or to do the work. Yeah. And this is why I said they train him. First they start with Charles, then they went on to William. They try to manipulate Harry. They can't get Harry. When they realize they can't get Harry, they divide the brother and make William kick Harry out of there. Okay? I truly believe that. It wasn't written anywhere. It's due to what I've been seeing and reading and plug one and one together. Alright, the marriage part, very true. And Kate isn't going anywhere because she's got nothing of her own. No money, no skills, nothing. He wants the perks that comes with the job, not the job. I'll go back to December 23 to what else, both of them. Alright, so let's go the next tweet. Alright, so this is James O'Brien. These are some stuff I saw and I wanted to look. So while I'm looking, I'm sharing my thought with you. Alright, this one is a minute. They've benched him already and he keeps running back onto the pitch. How do the royal family deal with Prince Andrew? James O'Brien and Colin Norman offer up a hilarious analogy. Alright, so let's see here.
I'm a big fan of sports, so to put it in a sporting analogy, I would just say you're permanently benched.
I didn't have an analogy, but they benched him already, mate. And he keeps getting up and running back onto the pitch. That's what's actually happening here. So imagine that. It's like he's been given a red card, and instead of going for an early bath, he's just sort of put on a comedy moustache and running back round the back in a goalkeeper's shirt. And they can't...
And it's almost like what Chris O'Donnell in the US was talking about. Okay? You thought the royal family was done with the Epstein, and then bam, you bring Trump, who was friend with him. Just go watch that video, okay? Just go watch that video. Here's the thumbnails of that video that I'm making reference to. Let's continue.
Can't get him off the pitch, Norman. This is the problem. That's what's happening. Yeah. But that's what you've done. That's what you've just handed to me on a platter. Is that is what they've done? They've benched him, and he's still running onto the pitch and trying to kick the ball.
Dear. It's crazy, isn't it? It's unbelievable. Yes. Yeah, you're right. That's really tickled me. That's crazy. Yeah, absolutely.
So what can they do? What can they do except send on security? You get that, it'd be like when you get a streaker on the pitch. You get those slightly tubby stewards running onto the pitch trying to rugby tackle him.
Absolutely. I'm a big fan of sports.
They never experience any pain. He thinks just putting him away from the public. I don't know. I really don't know. Maybe he prefer being in jail. I really don't know. I don't want to go into all of those comments, okay? So people are just laughing. Let's go to the next tweet. It's a TikTok JTB video. I spent too much time on the second tweet. Let's see this one here. Prince Harry. Oh, let's pause. Prince Harry went to Ukraine with Meghan's support because that is what a real partnership looked like. Meanwhile, Heather from the Hood, what? Heather from the Hood, yeah, actually that's the name, Heather from the Hood, is mad online because no one cares where she goes or if she comes back. Okay, it's almost 2 minutes.
H went to the Ukraine because you know the guy who's very scared about his security went to our war-torn country. You want to know something fun? The people of the Ukraine don't even want to be there. But he asks Duchess de Lulu's permission for him to go.
Heather from
Wait a second. Let me rewind it. I was blowing my nose. I hope that then record. Let me rewind it. Let's start all over.
H went to the Ukraine because you know the guy who's very scared about his security went to our war-torn country. You want to know something fun? The people of the Ukraine don't even want to be there. But he asks Duchess de Lulu's permission for him to go.
Heather.
Okay, before I let JTB talk. First of all, he got the security that he needed. And then it was, nobody knew. It was a private thing. Nobody knew he was going. And it was, invitation by the Ukrainian government who invited him. And they made it sure he gets there safely and he got the security that he needed. Unlike where his father is telling other nations to not provide him with security when he goes, Harry goes to a different country.
I actually couldn't believe it. I thought with all the disagreements and all of the chaos that's happening, the one thing that I could rely on is my family keeping me safe. And not only did they decide to remove my security in the UK, but they also signaled to every single government around the world not to protect us.
Okay, he was invited and they provide him with security. And because now Harry has a family and his birthday was right around the corner, he wanted to make sure if it was okay with his wife. So these people are missing some brain cells here. Let me go back right here. All right, let's listen to JTB.
For him to go.
Heather from the Hood. You're not just mentally stunted. You're a group project nobody asked for. And the dead weight nobody wants. The only thing you've contributed to society is proving Darwin was too generous. You called Meghan Duchess of Sussex, Duchess de Lulu like that's supposed to sting.
Mm-hmm.
That's elementary school
I'm
mentality.
telling you.
Meghan has a mansion, a platform, an estate, a legacy, and a passport that actually works. Meanwhile, you're rotting in irrelevance, ranting on TikTok because your life didn't make the cut for anything better. The only crown you'll ever touch is from Burger King. And let's talk about Prince Harry asking Meghan for permission to go to Ukraine. That's what relationships look like.
That's right.
Mutual respect, mutual care. Something you'll never experience because no one gives a damn about you. You could disappear tomorrow.
No one will
And the
care.
only people that would notice are the bill collectors. Harry
and probably the dog.
walked into a war zone for a good cause. A humanitarian cause. You can't even walk into a Dollar Tree without being side-eyed for stealing.
Oh my
You say
God.
Ukrainians don't even want to be there? You're an idiot. They're fighting for their country. Meanwhile, you're fighting for clout in the comment sections and losing every single round. So let's end this. Meghan is loved. Harry is respected. And you're just Heather from the Hood. The cultural appropriation is rich, while you scrape crumbs of attention online, because you'll never matter anywhere else. So sit down, shut up, and accept your permanent role as background noise.
Let's see here. I hope she sees this. It's absolutely, she wants to be where Meghan is in Harry's life. She actually referred to Harry as H while spewing her venom. Poor thing. Harry knows this type of women. He's staying away from them. The GIF. The only crown you wear is one from Burger King. Ukrainian soldiers have expressed gratitude. Yeah. Have expressed gratitude to Prince Harry for his work with the Invictus Games Foundation, which introduced sports recovery program to Ukrainian before Ukraine's participation in the Invictus Game in 2017, structured rehabilitation through sport for wounded veterans was virtually non-existent in the country. Ukrainian officials, including Deputy Minister for Veterans Affairs, Russian, Prikodov? Sorry, I think I pronounced this wrong, have noted that the partnership with the Invictus Game Foundation established and continues to develop sport rehabilitation as a key component of Ukraine's veterans policy, addressing the needs of over 130,000 people with permanent disabilities from the ongoing war. Wow, that's a lot. Okay, I can picture her first date getting up to go to the restroom, presumably without uttering a word to her and then not return. LOL. Okay, what's this that mean? Okay. What's her TikTok? Anyone? LOL. That's an ad. Okay, so this is my last one. It's a video. There's two videos. I'm only gonna share the first one. I'm not gonna share the second one. Let's pause. Laughing my ass off. The escalator at the UN stopped working as soon as Trump and Melania got on and had to walk up. All right, let's go into that. I'm not even gonna go into the speech because it's something that's gonna bother my ears. Let's listen and watch. Oh my God. And then boom, it's up. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God, these people don't play. It's tough. Melania didn't care. She just continued. I don't want to read the comment section. Let me get back to editing. Give the human escalator and teleprompter text a raise. Oh, that's explaining. That happened when you put too much weight on the escalator. I don't know. How many people were there? Really? Melania didn't care. She just go on. Oh my goodness. Alright. Trump complaining about the escalator and teleprompter. Oh, the teleprompter wasn't working. Okay, so that gives me a reason to go.
Very much appreciated.
Okay, let me start.
Very much appreciated. And I don't mind making this speech without a teleprompter because the teleprompter is not working. I feel very happy to be up here with you nevertheless, and that way you speak more from the heart. I can only say that whoever's operating this teleprompter is in big trouble. Very much appreciated.
Okay, so the teleprompter wasn't working. Okay, so that's that. Let's do a prayer. Prayer for... That was some of the thing I was discussing on my last recording. Prayer for peace. I don't know. Image, whatever's here. Oops. Oh, what's the other one? Let's go back. Okay, that was the first one. Prayer for peace, God of hope, let the world you love rest from disaster and strife as you settle your peace upon us. All right, so that is it. Let me get back to editing whatever I was recording here. All right, so that's it. Thank you for watching.
It's a great privilege to be with all of you today.
You know, we ask for forgiveness and please come back.
As you saw me find the love and happiness that I'd hoped for all my life. You are all in this together, and if I may speak personally, we are all in this together, because asking for help was one of the best decisions that I ever made. You will be continually amazed how life changes for the better.